Hello everyone, this is Pooka, and welcome to another game I played on the Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. In this video, I'm going to be using the deck that actually featured on this week's Bad Deck Monday. It's actually kind of a fun deck, so I used it a few more times. That's going to be the Zapdos EX Victini deck, revolving around Agility and Victini's Victory Star to allow us to keep reflipping for Agility to remain invincible for as long as possible. Looks like, based off of that mulligan, we're going up against some kind of a Team Plasma deck. It would appear we saw a G booster, and right off the bat, this is something I see and say, oh, that's not good. There are a few things that get through Zapdos' agility, and, well, two of the big ones are both in Genesect EX. Number one is Red Signal. You can just go around Zapdos and knock out things on the bench. Don't have to worry about agility. But number two is G Booster, which just allows you to knock out Zapdos anyway, since G Booster ignores all effects of attacks, or all effects on the defending Pokemon. So, this does not appear to be a favorable matchup, but hey, you're not always going to get favorable matchups in Pokemon. Sometimes you have to find a way to, try to win anyway. And we'll see if we can. Odds are I'm going to lose against this kind of a deck, but hey, if there's some way out, we're going to try to find it. So right off the bat, we see an Ultra Ball discarding 2 energy. That's very, very big when you have a Thunderous EX. And that's going right for a Plasma Kyurem. So this looks like a deck that I featured in another video that revolves a lot around Kyurem to Frost Spear and Blizzard Burn, and also Genesect EX. It runs a couple of those with the G Booster, and it has Fairy Garden as well to give you free retreat. It's a deck. Yeah, again, I did do a video on this. I believe looks very similar. I'm sure it's not the exact list, but we'll see. All right, so my opponent can't attack on the first turn, but boy, he or she filled. Boy, I can't talk. Filled up the bench, which will allow me to get a big Colress here for 8, which did not seem like a very good card to have in my opening hand, but hey, I'll take it. I'm going to double Colress Machine, 1 to Zapdos, 1 to Deoxys, hoping to get a switch right here, and we missed. So I'm just going to pass the turn with my 8-card hand. I could level ball for a Victini and put that down, but then it could just get red signaled out and knocked out by Raid Knuckle before I even get a chance to use it. So I'm just going to go ahead and pass. Alright, so there's the G Booster, yep. Great. Alright, so that's not a card I want to be seeing. Like I said, that goes through agility, knocks out Zapdos anyway, and the entire point of this deck is to avoid being knocked out. So that's not good news. But we do have 2 Tool Scrapper in this deck to deal with that kind of thing, so we could just Tool Scrapper away the G Booster. That is a way to deal with that kind of a thing. My opponent could play Shadow Triad to get it back, but hey, at least we can get rid of it once. That's a pretty big deal. We do see the Raid Knuckle for 60, a Rainbow going on to the Genesect EX, and a pass. Okay. So I'm going to level ball for a Victini here. We get the nice Victory Star. And we'll put that down on the bench. And let's see. I'm not really sure how I want to approach this. I could just Skyla for a switch and do that. But I think I'm going to retreat into Zapdos here. And, I could Skyla for a Muscle Band to make agility do more. Let's go for a Team Plasma Ball first. Absol will be huge here, but looks like old Absol is prized. So never mind on the Absol. And now I'm just going to say, you know what, let's just Skyla for the Muscle Band. We're going to be doing 90 damage with agility. So let's just do that. Agility for 90. Hopefully we get a heads. Oop, we got a tails. We get to reflip though. And okay, we got a heads that time. So with 4 Deoxys and a Muscle Band, agility does do 90 damage, which is a 2-hit knockout on Thunderous EX. My other option there would have been to grab a Tool Scrapper to get rid of that G-Booster, but my opponent didn't play a supporter on the previous turn, and he would need Colress Machine, Energy to do that. I guess it's not too unreasonable, but we'll just take our chances right here. And we see the Lightning go on to the Kyurem, so not really worried. Alright, so again, no supporter for my opponent. That's a pretty big deal. And we'll have to see what happens from here. The Energy goes on to the Genesect for the Raiden Knuckle. And, alright, I draw a Frozen City. Probably shouldn't have even bothered playing that down. That's actually kind of worthless. Oh well. I'm going to go ahead and put a Prism Energy on a Deoxys, and then Juniper away the rest of the hand. And I did get a Tool Scrapper. So we're going to Tool Scrapper away that G-Booster. That's going to be very, very big. And go ahead with an Agility for 90 damage. Hopefully getting a Heads here. Got a Tails. Oop, we got a Double Tails. That's not good. Didn't even get Absol out of the prizes. That's doubly not good. Alright. So this is not looking great. But, you know, if my opponent has a G-Booster, I get knocked out anyway. Whatever. Genesect gets promoted, and oh, hey, Shadow Triad, speaking of G-Booster. Uh-oh, not good, not good. We see the G-Booster come back, and there it is. If my opponent has an Energy as well, my Zapdos disappears. And there is a Colress Machine, go figure. Alright, so there goes Zapdos. There goes Zapdos. I actually considered attaching an Energy to Victini on the previous turn, so that I could use stored power with a Muscle Band to hit Genesect for 100. I'm kind of wishing I had. That would have been kind of funny. But just being able to hit Genesect for 100 and then move the Energy onto a different Pokemon would have actually been a very big play. But instead, I attached the Prism to Deoxys. At least it gets free retreat now with the Fairy Garden. And we can find something to do this turn. I'm not sure what, but we can find something, I guess. Alright, so Genesect takes down Zapdos with the G-Booster. My opponent had to play down his entire hand to do it, though. So that's not the greatest thing. I'm not sure why I put that Muscle Band onto Deoxys. I'm going to go ahead and Skyla. Could have gotten another Zapdos powered up this turn. I'm not sure why I didn't just do that. Just kind of see that. I could have Ultra Balled, gotten Zapdos, and all that good stuff. Instead, it looks like I'm just going for the Deoxys EX attacking route. And we're going to put a Fire onto Victini. And just go ahead with a Helix Force for 80. Again, I could have gotten a Zapdos there. I'm not really sure why I didn't. But the Helix Force for 80 just puts some pressure on, I suppose. And I'm setting up now the Victini play with the stored power. So maybe we can pull something off with that. I don't know. Deoxys, of course, is not a bad attacker by any means, but it's not a great attacker either. When your opponent only has one Energy, I actually think I made a big mistake there. Maybe, I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I lost faith in the agility. When I saw the G-Booster, I just lost faith. Alright, so we see a Plasma Energy coming out, and that's not good. There goes my stored power plan. Red Signal onto Victini, and then a Frost Spear for 120 damage, and 30 on to the Deoxys on the bench. Boy, this is just not looking good at this point. I do have a Zapdos now. Might be a little too late, though. Gonna go ahead and Ultra Ball, getting rid of Professor's Letter and a Professor Juniper. And I guess we can go for a Heatran. I don't think I'll even have enough resources at this point to power it up. So yeah, I'll just grab Victini instead. I guess that makes sense. Victini is going to be a pretty big target at this point, but oh well. I'll go ahead and put the Zapdos down with a Lightning Energy. And we'll put the Victini down as well. And then again, my opponent still hasn't played a supporter, so I'll Chorus for 10. And Helix Force for 110. 20 short of a knockout. Kind of a bummer, but oh well. The Genesect with the G-Booster, yeah, that's definitely cutting into the strategy here. I actually do run Heatran EX just because Genesect with G-Booster is such a problem, but I didn't go for it quickly enough, so it wasn't very useful. Also, when there's a Kyurem sitting there as well, Heatran just doesn't have the same appeal, since a Kyurem can just knock it out. It's more for Virizion Genesect deck, so this is just a weird situation where a Genesect and a Kyurem can really mess with your day. But we do see, ouch, another G-Booster for 230 damage on the poor Deoxys EX. And now, well, actually, wow, my opponent did use a Rainbow Energy to do that G-Booster. So now he only has 80 HP left. That's actually a pretty big deal. That means, hey, I can actually knock him out with Agility. Alright, so this might not be terrible. We can go ahead and put that energy onto Zapdos with the Muscle Band. And yeah, it's 30 plus 30 plus 20, that's 80. I've done my math for the day. And I'm just going to put the Prism Energy and the Muscle Band onto Zapdos. And I could bench Heatran there, but we'll just go with the Colress, the big old Colress. And put down the Frozen City just to take away the Fairy Garden option. And then Agility for 80 damage. Got Tails, hopefully getting a Heads, and oops, nope. That's not good. Alright, so now Zapdos can be hit. That means an Energy and a Muscle Band on the Kyurem means game over. Just a Blizzard Burn, and I lose. So here comes Kyurem. I'm pretty much expecting to lose at this point. I haven't really even seen a Muscle Band, I don't think. And, I mean, just an Energy, a Prism, or a Rainbow would be game over. Ouch, we do see an Enhanced Hammer. That hurts as well. Discarding that Prism off of Zapdos. That's not good news. Yeah, I'm not really sure where we go from here. Oh, we just see a switch, so I am going to survive the turn, it looks like. Then again, a Lightning, another Deoxys, and a Muscle Band would be a knockout, but no, we just see a Landorus EX hit the board, and there's a Juniper. So my opponent just seems to be playing it safe here, and just using Raid Knuckle this turn, probably going to power up the Kyurem, and go from there. That Landorus is going to be a real pain, though. It has lightning resistance, and also the Victini on the bench is just such a big target at this point. Both Frost Spear and Hammerhead can hit it for 30, and it only has 60 HP, so it seems like just 2 of those attacks will be game over. I can't really knock out Landorus EX anytime soon. I've gone through a lot of energy as well. Jeez. And I am just going to attach another energy to Zapdos. I mean, what else are we going to do? We can Agility. That's about it. And I am certainly going to end my opponent to 1 card. That seems like a no-brainer. Try to limit the options my opponent has. I'll play a Dowsing Machine as well, just to, kind of get rid of excess cards at this point. And we'll go with a Colress Machine. I'm not really sure. I guess I could draw the Colress Machine, and then another Energy could allow me to Power Volt for the last prize. And I think I'm going to go for the double switch here. I could do that. I have not played a switch yet. There are 3 in this deck, I think. So I can play 2 switch and then not have to worry about drawing those again either. I don't know, this is tricky. All I know is I want to end my opponent to 1, but I also want to give myself good cards to draw. We could see something like an Escape Rope or another Genesect come out at some point, though, so I'm going to go ahead and hold on to the switches and then go for the Agility. This flip is huge. Oh no, Tails! We need to reflip, and Heads, alright. So we do manage to survive the turn. Whew. And Zapdos is invincible thanks to Agility. But again, the major problem here is Victini on the bench. Sometimes I wish I could play Mr. Mime in this deck, but it's just not really feasible since you need all the bench space you can get most of the time. We do see a Tool Scrapper getting rid of the Muscle Band. That's pretty annoying. But I do have a Skylet to get my 4th one. But yeah, usually you just don't have bench space to put down Mr. Mime. Obviously, in this game, Heat Train would be replaced by Mr. Mime, but usually you want as many Deoxys in play as possible. And I just want to go back to Absol. Where has he been? I mean, if I had Absol this game, I would be able to just get huge knockouts here and knock out Thunderous EX in one hit. Mind Jack would be going crazy, but looks like that's just not going to be the case. And wow, my opponent just retreats into the Landorus EX and, passes the turn, does not have an energy. So this is actually very telling. My opponent doesn't have much, but he wants to buy time. Here we're going with the agility, 60. Got a heads? I don't really think that matters at this point. All that matters is, does my opponent draw an energy in the following 2 turns? Well, actually, maybe this turn. If my opponent doesn't have an energy to Hammerhead this turn, I think he may, or he or she, I never know with the avatars, may be in trouble. I mean, it would have to be this turn, because we can do 60 2 more times. And we see a Muscle Band and a pass. Uh-oh. And there's another agility. Is this really going to happen? 60? If my opponent has a switch, could buy a turn that way. But if not, that Landorus is just going to get stuck there. And agility will somehow rule the day after 2 G boosters and Red Signal going crazy. Sometimes Pokemon just doesn't make sense. Can agility really do this? I would think this would be one of my worst possible matchups for this kind of a deck. But if you can overcome this, maybe this is not such a bad deck after all. I mean, obviously it's unreliable because of the coin flips for agility, but I don't know. Maybe this deck has some potential. My opponent says GG. And I can't believe this. I thought we were done for sure, and then somehow Zapdos, agility to victory. And Absol is a lazy bum. But, wow, I don't know what to say. Improbable comeback. But, hey, I'll take it. That's Pokemon sometimes. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll certainly have some more for you soon. I am Pooka from the Top Cut, and I'll see you guys next time.